Day 2 of camp, ready to rock and roll.
Okay, that works. Jen, anything?
Hydrate.
Hydrate. Greg, any thoughts, feelings,
I'm
comments?
feeling good. We're feeling good. We're feeling ready.
Awesome.
Morning.
Oh, there's Sarah.
Hey, Eric, how was your session this morning, you early bird?
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I'm
Won't tell
cheating.
anyone.
Cheating. All right, let's focus in on these knee pads. You want to talk about your knee pads? Do you have anything to say about your knee pads?
All right, so this morning is a lot of attaching. Okay, so hopefully your bodies feel pretty good. Also, listen to yourselves. If you guys have any aches and pains, make sure you guys are telling your coaches. This morning we're going to be focusing a lot on spacing and timing. Okay, so one of the biggest issues with beach volleyball players, if you guys feel like you can't score, probably has to do with either you're too close or too far away from the net, or you're going in too early or you're going in too late. Okay, so this session is really going to try to figure that out. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to find your correct spacing from the net. Okay, so got my trusty partner Allie out here. If you guys notice, Allie and I are different heights. Okay, she's a little bit taller than me. Yeah.
And she's a baller.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So the way we're going to find this is we're going to get to the net. We're going to do a full arm swing. If you didn't know, you should be attacking the ball far enough off the net so that when you go through, you can do a full arm swing. A lot of us set each other to where we start hitting like this, and you just look weird. So don't do that. Okay, so we're going to take a step off the net. We're going to get set off the net today. Once we find that area, we're going to turn into the court, and then we're going to work on our 4-step approach. You guys worked on this on Monday. It's for my righties. It's going to be right, left, right, left. For my lefties, it's the opposite. Left, right, left, right. Sound good? So Allie and I are going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go right, left, right, left. And if you notice, we have different spaces from the net. So after I pass, it's going to be my job to find what this optimal spacing is for me. Okay, it's not always going to be perfect, but more than likely, the most common error that we see is that people start their approach too close to the net. Okay, so for a lot of you guys today, it might feel like, a lot of times we call it a string. It might feel like your string to the net, if you think about my chest being attached to a string and on the other end it's attached to the net, it might feel like this string is really long for you. Does that make sense? You guys are going to kind of experiment with that, finding what a small string feels like, what a long string feels like, all those things. But if you guys notice, for me right now, for Allie right now, you guys might think that this is a very long distance to approach, okay? But if we do our normal approach back, right, left, we figured out a way to get back up. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the first thing you guys are going to do once you get to your courts. The second thing that we need to talk about, so this is our first kind of spacing. Our second kind of spacing is the distance between me and my setter, okay? So more than likely, after I pass, if I'm right-handed, one thing that I want to do is I want to create space between my setter and my hitting shoulder. Okay, so since I'm a right-handed hitter, I'm going to try to get close to 10 feet of distance or outside of 10 feet away from my setter. The main reason for this is when I'm on the left side, I want my energy to be going towards that hard cross corner. Okay, so if I pass the ball and I create this space and I have my setter Allie and she sets the ball in the air, I'm going to practice my approach, and if I landed and kept running, I should be able to go into this deep cross corner. So we have Sarah over there. Does that make sense? Okay. A lot of you guys yesterday, the common error that we see is that we have a pass, we stay in this spot, and then we do our approach so that if I was to hit the ball and keep going, I'm going to be going straight. All right? So those are the two types of spacing that we're going to work on. If we quickly go over to the right side, we can call for outside sets, we can call for inside sets, but the common rule that we want to use is after I pass, I want to be within 10 feet. Once again, bringing my attacking shoulder closer to my setter to make her job easier. Does that make sense? So left side, bigger than 10 feet, right side within 10 feet. Easy rules. For my lefties, it's the opposite. If I'm on the right side, I would go outside of 10 feet. If I'm on the left side, within 10 feet. Sound good? Cool. All right, then we're gonna get into some drills. So let me get Nolan, Allie, and one other person set. All right. So the first drill that we're gonna do, this is gonna kind of feel a little bit like triangle. All right, so Logan, let me get you up here actually. You're just gonna catch for me for a second. All right, so this is gonna kind of just warm you up, and the last thing we need to talk about before we start hitting is our timing step. Okay, the timing step is what we're gonna use as our first step of our approach. All right, we want our timing step to go down right around our setter's contact. For some of you, it might be just before the setter's contact. For some of you, it might be just after. For some of you, it might be right on. For right now, we're going to focus on just getting it right on the setter's contact. So Allie is going to put down her right step when Matt is touching the ball. Okay? And I want you guys to all say now when Matt is touching the ball, and let's see if Allie can get her foot down at the right time. So she's going to pass.
2.
Now.
I was
Good.
early.
And right now, she's not even going to need to approach. She's just going to go through and make that timing step and then get it back in line. Now. Very good. And we're just going to keep doing this.
So much control in my life.
Now. Good. Now. Good. All right. So you guys, that's the first drill. This is going to move very, very quickly. You guys might get 2 or 3 reps of this each, but then we're going to keep moving on. And the next thing, Logan's going to be out of the way. All right. And Allie's just going to go up and try to catch this ball at the highest point that she possibly can. So now she's going to have her timing step, but she's also going to go catch that ball as high as she can. So pass, now, jump, and catch. Very good. Same thing. Pass, now, jump, and catch as high as you can. Nice job. We'll do one more each. Pass,
2.
now, jump and catch. Good. Last one for Nolan. Pass, now. Good. Very good. The next progression of this drill, Allie's she's gonna go up like she's gonna catch, but then she's just gonna pat the ball over the net to me like almost like a high line. So she's gonna get her pass. She's still finding her timing step. Now, jump and catch at the peak. And then high net, pass, now, jump and catch. Good. So this is making sure that the attacker is getting up and catching that ball or attacking that ball at its highest point. Now. Very good. So the reason that we're going through at this rate where we're finding the timing step, then we're going up and we're catching at the peak, and then we're going up and adding our swing is because that's the order that I want you guys to think about this. The timing step is the most important. If you have your timing steps off, the rest of your approach is going to be really hard to get it. It's not impossible, but it's going to be really hard to figure out that timing, okay? The other important piece is making sure that you are going up and trying to touch the ball at your optimal height, okay? That's going to be different for everybody. If Chad has a 2-inch vertical and I have a 40-inch vertical, then our jumps are going to look a little different.
From a squat hop, yeah.
But, so you're going to have to play around with that a little bit. Real quick, let me have you guys switch to the right side. We'll go straight into the attack over the net. But I want you guys to watch what Allie and Nolan do after they pass. So this would be an example of them closing that distance within 10 feet. They have their pass, shuffle in. They're not losing that distance so if you notice when they're shuffling, they're still keeping that space from the net. Allie, can you show me an example of closing that distance?
Yep.
So pass, she comes in really early, and now she's underneath the ball.
Oh!
Matt sets her tight, even though he shouldn't.
Set
Okay.
me off, man.
So,
Sorry, partner.
those are the kind of drills that we're going to work through. Okay, then we're going to go to some live type drills where we're going to have some kind of wash style where you guys are going to have an opportunity to work on that spacing, work on long approaches, work on short approaches, and then eventually we will get into some live gameplay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. One thing that I want you guys to focus on for this morning. What did we work on yesterday? Passing and setting. Okay, there's a reason that we do passing and setting on day one. Okay, so I would rather you guys have a really, really tough time with attacking, but your passing and setting looks amazing. Okay, if we have our passing and setting look amazing, and then we're able to add in our attacking and stuff, it's going to go really, really smooth. But if we just think about attacking, then we're going to look like a bunch of middle hitters out here. Sound good?
Don't post that and get sued by Barrett. I said carefully don't post that and get sued by Barrett Beach.
Seriously.
I would like
Copyright.
courts, you are going to return to the court